The Centurion Mk 5/1 Royal Australian Armour Corps is the end vehicle reward for War Thunder's Battle Pass Season 2 Electric Boogaloo, which you can buy for 2,000 or 2,500 GE. This Aussie tank is basically what you get when you take a Centurion Mk 3, rip off its side skirts, put a massive bin on the rear and put an NVD dish so big that you'll probably need to be blind to not see it. This 52-ton fat bastard of a tank has the same 650 kangaroo power engine as the Mk 3 and Mk 10 and has a kangaroo to ton ratio of 12.5. The acceleration on this kangaroo is mediocre at best, but once you hit speed you won't really notice it. However, once you start moving, you will bleed speed more than a P-47 going vertical. Your top speed is 35 km per hour, and your reverse speed is 12.1 km per hour. You also have neutral steer as all Western MBTs do. Your main armament is an 84mm Royal Ordnance 20-pounder quick-firing Queen's Delight cannon, which has 4 shell types. They are as follows: a standard APCBC shell that goes 1000 meters a second and pens 232mm at point blank. An HE shell that's useless as fuck. Smoke is smoke. APDS the Holy Grail, 1400 meters a second with a pen of 285mm at point blank. Recommended shell load is either 20-shot Mk 3 APDS and 5-shot Mk 1 AP, or 25 APDS. The AP has more post-pen, but if you're confident in aiming, the APDS is all you really need. And in true British fashion, ammo is shat everywhere inside the tank, so regardless of where you're hit, you'll probably die in 1 to 2 hits as your crew are cramped together, and 3 are lined up to one side. If you don't die from an ammo detonation, you'll probably die from the crew having a significant emotional event. Your base reload is 8.1 seconds and can get down to a 6.3 second reload with an ace crew. Base turret rotation is 14 degrees per second, and a maximum of 20 degrees per second. Max elevation is 20 degrees, and 10 degrees of depression, which allows you to work ridgelines. You also have 2 7.62s, 1 in a pintle mount and 1 coax combined with a single best MG in game, the M2HB, with 3000 rounds of pure wheat Bixes. Your armor is essentially the same of the Mk 3 on the turret, but the hull is akin to that of the Mk 10. Your LFP is 76.2mm of fine Australian, but you'll get fucked over hard if anybody knows to aim there. Your UFP is the same thickness, but with the addition of a 50.8mm plate sends the armor up to 220mm of effective thickness. But that doesn't mean much anymore, because what's armor meta? Your sides are 50.8mm flat, and your rear is 38mm with that been used for Vegemite of 12.7mm in thickness. Hull roof armor is 5mm, to 14 then to 8mm. Your turret is the exact same as the Mk3 with 89mm of cast all around. Turret roof is 50.8mm on the forward and edges, but 20mm on its roof. Mantelet edge is 152mm cast, inner mantelet is 120mm thick, inner bottom halves are 100mm thick, middle mantelet is 152mm aside the MG bustle of 200mm thick. Your armor on paper is good, however vehicles at 7.3 and above will literally just say haha no and dome your cranium with a bat like Scout and TF2. Now let's talk tactics. Since you're far from the fastest thing on the battlefield, you'll be relegated to doing medium to long range combat, that combined with your laser accurate 20-pounder with APDS, this won't be a problem. But maps in war shit won't always allow for this. So you'll be forced into CQC, which this tank can definitely do, you just won't always have reactionary mobility to confidently do as such. You can also work ridgelines with this machine as you have negative 10 degrees of gun depression. The British 7.3 lineup is very potent. You can bring the Cent Mk 3, the FV-4202, Carnarvon, Conway, the Raidles and the Eland to name a few. Planes you can bring the Attacker, Vampire, or Meteor. Before I forget, your modifications are already unlocked as this is a premium vehicle. Crew skills can be regurgitated to tank driving so that maneuvering is easier, repair to fix that gun, reload to become a machine gun, leadership, and targeting for turret speed, and range finding as you lack a range finder. All in all, the Centurion Mk 5/1 is a very good vehicle. But is it worth buying the BP for by itself? I would be inclined to say yes, for you will also gain 3 additional premiums, all of which are very fun to use. I'm going to give this tank a 4 out of 5 on the Fudge scale.